I could hear it before I saw it, the slow, rhythmic sound of breathing just beyond the shower curtain, soft but close enough to fog the plastic. It was 2:46 a.m. and I was alone in my apartment. I live in a modest one-bedroom unit on the 3rd floor of a quiet building. Nothing fancy, just affordable and clean, with a decent lock and walls thin enough to hear the neighbors sneeze. I'd moved in 3 months earlier after a breakup, grateful to finally have a place that was mine and mine alone. The bathroom is tucked into the hallway just left of my bedroom. It's small gas, a toilet, a narrow sink, and a shower stall with a cheap white plastic curtain that clings to your legs if you dumpty open the window after a hot shower. I always hated that. That night, I couldn't sleep. I don't even remember why. Maybe too much caffeine. Maybe just one of those restless nights where the silence feels too loud. Around 2:30, I figured I'd try taking a hot shower to relax. I left the bathroom door slightly ajar, like I always did, and turned the water on until the small room filled with steam. About 5 minutes in, with my face tilted up under the water, I felt it. A shift. The kind of shift that doesn't make sound, but still registers like the weight of the air changes. I froze, listening. At first, I thought it was just the pipes creaking behind the wall. This building was old, and weird noises were nothing new. But then, there it was again. Breathing. Not mine. Not loud. Not far. I turned off the shower completely. Silence, but only for a moment. Then I heard it again, this time clearly. A slow, steady exhale. Right behind the curtain. It wasn't like someone trying to hide. It was calm, measured, like they'd been standing there the whole time, just watching. I stared at the white plastic in front of me. Steam still clung to it, but now it was fogged up unevenly, a clear patch just at chest height, like someone had been breathing directly onto it. I didn't move. I couldn't. Every part of my body went cold. I stood, dripping, every muscle locked in place. The curtain didn't move. There was no shadow, but I knew someone was on the other side, and I couldn't think of a single way they could have gotten in. Finally, I reached for my towel, slowly, like any sudden movement would make them react. I wrapped it around myself with shaking hands. Still no movement, still no sound except for the breathing. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run, but I couldn't turn my back on it. So I reached forward, hand trembling, and gripped the edge of the curtain. I yanked it open. Nothing. The bathroom was empty. The floor was wet. The air still thick with steam, but no one was there. I stepped out, my bare feet sticking to the cold tile, and checked behind the door. Still nothing. I looked in the hallway, checked the front door. It was locked. The windows were shut. But I swear he heard someone behind that curtain. That was real. I barely slept the rest of the night. I left the lights on, sat on the couch wrapped in my towel, listening for any sound. Nothing came. Morning eventually did. I convinced myself it was just in my head, auditory hallucinations from exhaustion. Maybe I didn't tell anyone, but a few days later, it happened again. This time, I wasn't in the shower. I was brushing my teeth. I'd just finished rinsing when I noticed it. The sound of water dripping from the shower head, even though I hadn't used it that night. I looked at the curtain, same slight fog at chest height. Then the breathing started again. Soft, rhythmic, got calm. I didn't move, just watched the curtain. It didn't sway, no feet visible below, just that strange patch of fog, slowly growing. I slowly stepped backward out of the bathroom and shut the door. This time, I called my friend Matt. He came over with a baseball bat, searched the entire place. Nothing. He asked me if I was okay. I said yes. I wasn't. A week later, I noticed something worse. The breathing only started when I was in the bathroom, but the fog on the curtain, I started seeing it, even when I hadn't used the shower. Twice, I came home from work and found a small circle of condensation on the curtain, like someone had been waiting there, breathing. Once, I even found the curtain slightly open, just a few inches, as if someone had peeked out. There were no signs of forced entry. Nothing was ever stolen or moved, but every time I stepped in that room, I felt it. That cold shift in the air, that presence. Eventually, I started leaving the curtain open at all times, showering with it pulled back, sleeping with the bathroom door closed. That helped until it didn't. One night, I got up to pee. The curtain was closed. I hadn't touched it in 2 days, and this time, there was something else. A fingerprint, smudged high on the curtain, about where someone would have pressed their hand to lean forward. I moved out a week later. I don't know what it was. a squatter, something worse. All I know is, if you ever feel like you're being watched in the shower, you probably are. If this story gave you chills, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more terrifying true stories every week. You're not alone, even when you think you are.